If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. So I decided to listen to Lil Yachty's new album, Michigan Boy Boat, and kind of give my thoughts on this in this review. So Michigan Boy Boat came kind of, very surprising. He just kind of dropped it, and with it he also announced, I think I've read this, that he's dropping up to 5 albums this year. He's very present on social media right now. I've just seen some posts, about him claiming that he's the best dressed rapper and that he's also one of the best rappers, which, if you've been following the channel for a bit, you know that I'm not too much of a Yachty fan, so I would not sign that. But he has been, it's very surprising how much of a very solid fan base he has. Because I remember when Lil Boat 3 came out, and I just didn't like it at all. A lot of you guys were defending him and were defending his music, saying that there are a lot of gems on there that maybe I had just missed. And I have yet to go back to Lil Boat 3 or the Deluxe 3.5 to kind of rediscover those gems for me. But to me, that put him in a very, interesting position, because he has been commercially falling off for some time now. He's not doing as well in terms of numbers as he once was when, for example, Nothing to Prove dropped and he was just on top of his game. Now, nobody can deny that. The numbers just prove it. But what's really interesting to me is how he has continued to have this fan base and have a certain cultural impact, always being featured on, for example, all those Complex videos and sneaker shopping and all that. So people still look up to him for something. And that's why I think this new project is also very kind of important, because this thing, the name says it, but Michigan Boy Boat, it basically only features Detroit or Michigan artists. Now, almost exclusively. I'm saying almost because there's Sway Lee on here and stuff like that, but it's a lot of people that I hadn't heard of before, and that maybe now through this album I am discovering, which I think is a beautiful thing, that he's giving these smaller local artists a chance to a bigger stage and just a platform to expand their music. Now, of course, Lil Yachty is not from Detroit, he's from Atlanta, but somehow he has just found that sound. Now, getting into the actual music, though, I really have some stuff I want to say about this, and because this is just very weird to me. Now, starting off, though, let's start with the first track, Final Form. I thought this was one of the best tracks on here. I thought this was a great intro, even though it's only 2 minutes and 15 seconds. His bars on there were very personal, very authentic. He was kind of shouting out his kind of close family, not like blood family, but like just his people. So that was a really, in a way, cute moment to open up this album. And then from there on, Dynamic Duo with T Grizzly is a very hype track, and I really love this one. I think this has potential to be a banger, and I think that's also the track that's doing the best on here. But starting from there, we get into the main problems that I have with this record, and that is Yachty himself. Now, the features on here are not too bad. I believe a lot of these artists really took this platform, this opportunity to find, to gain a bigger fan base through a Lil Yachty release, although Lil Yachty, as I said, not doing too well anymore, but still, for them to get that exposure is still very big, and so they took it very seriously, and a lot of them really killed their verses and killed their parts on here, so I can only recommend you go listen to this for the features, the external things, which was also his main motive, I think, with this one, to put on these other artists and do it for the culture, which, as I said, that's kind of where I see Yachty in hip hop right now, just someone trying to, contribute his artistic vision or his platform to the culture instead of trying to just cash out himself. That's kind of where I see him at right now. But starting from here, as I said, the problem is Yachty. Yachty's flow on basically all of these tracks, but it gets really bad on the one with Sway Lee, for example, or even Concrete Goonies or Don't Even Bother. It's just so offbeat. I'm really not sure. The whole album, I was wondering if he was trying to go for a certain sound and if this is on purpose, because he does it so consistently and so confidently. he's just completely off beat sometimes. Like, it just sounds weird. And to my ears, someone who's used to listening to hip hop on beat, which is 99% of tracks, and that's for a reason, because we as humans perceive it as not good if it's off beat because it just sounds wrong. But he just kind of pulls it off. And I'm really not sure if this is a new sound that he's trying to create. If it is, then I'm really not about it, but I can kind of see how he's trying to do it. You can kind of see patterns in his being off beat. But on some of this, he then goes on beat again, or awkwardly just stumbles on the beat. And this reminded me a lot of what like Blueface was doing back in like 2018, 2019, when he first started popping off. And he was kind of purposely not rapping on beat. But with Blueface, it was like we didn't know any better from Blueface. But Yachty has proven in the past that he's not a bad rapper in a way, although he's not my favorite, but he's not too bad. He can rap if he wants to, and he can stay on beat if he wants to. But on this one, it was just so awful. On the track with Sway Lee, oh my God, I don't know what he was doing, but I don't know if there was delay in his headphones for the beat, but it was just not on beat. Now, I really want to know what you guys think about this, because I'm very kind of surprised and unsure if I should just kind of blame him for this and say that this is a huge problem, because to me it really takes away from any of the replay value of these songs. Now, as I said, Dynamic Duo is great, G.I. Joe is great, we also had some more stuff in the latter half of it. That one was a great compilation of kind of a lot of the artists featured on here, just kind of in like a little bit of cypher, just spitting their part and trying to, do their thing. But Yachty just ruins most of these tracks for me, and it's because he's just unable to stay on beat. And maybe this is a certain sound, maybe this is somehow connected to the Michigan, Detroit area, and he was trying to imitate that sound, but to me it just sounds so wrong. And I can't really, kind of get over that. So that really takes away from the replay value for me. But as I said, let me know if you know any more about this certain style that Yachty is going for. He used some of the same kind of offbeat style on Lil Bo 3, but then also not for the majority. So I always kind of figured that it was just him not being able to really rap. But on this new one, he does it so confidently that it makes me question if this is actually something that he intentionally does. Now, let me know if you know any more about this, and let me know your general thoughts about this in the comments down below, because I really want to know how you kind of rate this in his discography and what you know about the new albums that are still dropping this year, and if you think that this was kind of a great piece for Michigan and Detroit hip-hop culture and music to put on these smaller artists. So definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.